tomato soup tonight, and it's gonna be vegan, but it won't be compromising on any flavor. It's made with coconut milk and some basic soup veggies, and it's quick and easy. Use these tomatoes, if you can see that. They're just really tasty and they're really smooth. So I really like to buy this jar if I can, but I didn't have any on hand today, so I'm gonna use these strained tomatoes instead, and I'm sure they will be just as tasty. But if you don't have that and you just have a big can of stewed tomatoes or whole tomatoes from Sam's or something, you can use that too. I usually use about, this is 24 ounces, and this one's 26. It's close enough, I'll use that. And then I always use a can of full fat coconut milk. And then I made vegetable broth yesterday, so this is about 4 cups in this jar. I'm gonna do a little bit of chopped garlic. I'll probably do like maybe 3 or 4 cloves. And then, dun 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 dun, my friend Rebecca gave this to me, and it's white balsamic vinegar, and I think it's really great to add a few dashes of it into the soup. I think it really adds a nice depth to the flavor. You could use regular balsamic. You don't have to use it, but I like it. And of course, salt and pepper to taste, but that's it. This is what I love about cooking, is that it's a creative process. You don't have to follow a recipe exactly. You know, you can substitute things. You just have to know what to substitute. Like for this soup, I'm not using milk, which most people would. So coconut milk is a great alternative. Tomato soup recipes, they'll call for a sweetener, brown sugar, and sometimes I add it, sometimes I don't. It depends on the tomatoes. The tomatoes are always different. You've got to adapt to that. For this recipe, I use a lot of carrots. Usually the carrots add a sweetness that maybe a sugar would. So I don't really usually feel like my recipe needs it because of the carrots and because I'm using coconut milk, which is also already naturally sweet. So just play around with the flavors. You can add lots of spices like pepper flakes or cayenne is always great in tomato soup, I think. And I said that I made my own vegetable broth. It's so easy. I absolutely never buy it in the store. You just take all your veggie scraps, you throw them in a pot with some good water, bring it to a boil, and then I usually turn it down a little bit and simmer it for a couple hours. You can use any vegetables in there. Carrots, celery, onion, garlic, asparagus, mushrooms are great. All of that stuff. So the skins off the garlic and the onions too, you just throw it all in there. You've got yourself some veggie stock, which is really easy. So now you can see it's starting to boil, so I'm gonna turn down the heat. I'm gonna put it on low. And usually around this time, I will just try it and see what it tastes like. I don't know, it's pretty darn good, actually. But I think I want just the tiniest bit more of sweetness. So I'm going to add a little bit of this maple syrup. Just a little, can always add more, but you can't take it out. So I usually err on the lighter side. That's all it needed. I use my immersion blender for blending soups like this because it just makes life way easier than a regular blender, because if you put hot stuff in a regular blender, the lid will come off and you will have it all over your kitchen. So if you're gonna use a regular blender, wait until it cools. Seriously guys, homemade tomato soup is really that easy. Leave me a comment if you make it and let me know what you think.